Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the basic concepts of medical terminology. I'm Dr. Alavi. Today is presenting this topic to you. You might ask yourself why we should learn about medical terminology. As a matter of fact, medical terminology is an effective and accurate way of communication between healthcare providers. Before we start the medical terminology, we should know that medical terms are really simple. This is not as scary as it seems because the medical terms are built up like building of a blocks, and they are consist of some parts. For example, roots. Root is the most basic form of a word, or it is the fundamental part of the word. As a matter of fact, it's the core of the words. Word is accompanied with prefix and suffix. Prefix is a word that added before a root, and suffix is a word that added after a word, after a root. For example, if I want to give you an example, for example, cardiology, cardio is the root of this word and means heart, and logy means it's a suffix and meaning study. Cardiology means the study of hearts. As if you know the roots of cardio, you might understand the other words that has their roots of cardi in themselves. For example, pericardium, echocardiogram, and other words. Compound words are words that consist of more two roots in themselves. In the next slide, I will give you some examples of these words. And lastly, acronym. Acronym is a word that consists of first letter of each word in the name of something. For example, UTI, that means urinary tract infection. Most of the roots are from Greek and Latin. Here is the three important and common roots in medical terms. Cardia, that means heart. For example, you might learn here earlier, I talked about cardiology. It means the study of hearts. Next, nephro, it's a Greek roots for kidney. Of course, we have another roots for kidney, that is ren. You may hear that in your medical career, for example, renal azotomy and other words that contain ren in themselves that are related to kidneys. Cephal. Cephal means head. It's the Greek root for head. Prefix. Here is three popular prefixes that used in medical terms. That means three. For example, tricuspid, or white, leuco, that means white. For example, leukocyte, that indicates white blood cells, and hyper, that means high. For example, hypertension, that means high blood pressure. Suffixes, for example, AC, that means when you want to resemble or describe a situation or a thing. For example, cardiac, that means a word or a thing that related to the heart. And lastly, itis. Itis, I guess this is the most popular suffix used in medical knowledge and medicine. That means inflammation. For example, appendicitis, gastritis, and bronchitis. All of them means inflammation of any specific organ. Compound words, as I said earlier, are words that consist two roots in themselves. For example, cardiovascular, that consists of cardia, means heart, and vascular, body vessels. Acronyms, as I told you before, is a group of letters is a word that is consists of the first letters of a phrase, medical phrase. It simplifies long medical phrases into bite sizes. For example, UTI, which means urinary tract infection, or BFBS, that is, as a matter of fact, fast blood sugar. Now you got familiar with the fundamentals of medical terminology, and let's review these things together. Here is some words: gastritis, leukocytes, macrovascular, euphoria, MRI, virology, and nephrology. Think about these words. What is the foundations and parts of these words? Here is each part of these words. For example, gastritis. It consists of two parts: gastro plus itis. Gastro means stomach, and itis, as I told you earlier, means inflammation. Gastritis means inflammation of stomach. Then another word is, if I want to get specific, is microvascular. Micro is a prefix that means small, and vascular is the root of this word that means vessel. Microvascular means small vessels. Now you understood that learning about terminology helped you a lot getting know the exact meaning of each word that seems a little bit difficult. MRI, for example. MRI is an acronym that is simplified the medical phrase that is magnetic resonance imaging, or nephrology. That is consists of two parts. Nephro is the roots of the word, and that is colored in red, means kidney, and logy, that means study. And nephrology means studying the kidney. Lastly, I want to emphasize that sometimes pronunciation of some medical terms are a little bit tricky. In this table, I want to introduce some of the letters that might have different pronunciation in medical context. For example, this, which pronounced dyspnea, it means shortness of breath. You exactly know the meaning. Or PH, that pronounced F, for example, ophthalmology or physical activity. PS, that pronounced S, for example, psychosis, it's a mental disease. CH, that's pronounced K, for example, chemotherapy, it's a treating way of helping patients treating with chemicals. And next, EU, which pronounced U, for example, euphoria, that means extreme happiness, having extreme happiness or feeling a little bit high. PN, which pronounced N. It's really tricky for some medical students that pronounce this word correctly. Pneumonia, some of the students might pronounce this word incorrectly and say pneumonia, which is not correct. And the correct pronunciation is pneumonia, which means inflammation of lungs. PT, that pronounced T, for example, ptosis, and that means when the upper eyelid drops over the eye. And lastly, X and RH. X sometimes pronounced Z, for example, xiphoid, and RH sometimes pronounced R, diarrhea, which is a gastrointestinal disease. Thank you very much for your attention. Now we end up with this session, and in future we will discuss about more about medical terminology and dive in deeper. Thank you very much. Goodbye.